I have an identical twin sister, by the way. We're 34 now, and we've been battling with an eating disorder, bulimia. I can't actually believe I'm saying this out loud because it was super embarrassing to talk about, but now that I'm healed, I think it's so much more comfortable to actually say it out loudly. We'd been struggling with bulimia for 20 years, 21 years even. We tried all sorts of therapies, like alternative therapists, ayahuasca ceremonies, everything. And nothing would really make a big effect. And we also always had a trouble, which was if one was getting better, the other one would be getting worse. But not just in terms of eating disorder, but also in terms of like work, relationships, everything. Like it was like positive and negative. And a friend of mine introduced me to Dr. Joe's work. Becoming Supernatural is what she sent me to read. And I thought, okay, I have nothing to lose. I might as well try. And I'm one of those all or nothing kind of person. So I directly, like before getting to the third chapter, I was already like on my second day doing my energy centers meditation. And I remember the fourth day already I was meditating, and throughout like it was probably like halfway through the meditation, and I just realized my face was like, and I was like kind of like drooling, and I had like this incredible feeling of joy, which I didn't even understand where it was coming from. And after that, I was hooked. There was nothing that could stop me. There were days when I didn't do the practice for 2 days, and I could already feel it. It was like it would take me maximum 2 days to get back to it. And I started realizing huge changes in my life. And I was trying to get my sister to do it as well, because I was a bit worried that if I was getting better, she would hit rock bottom. I couldn't really get her to do it, but she was just telling me, "You do it. We'll see what happens later on." So coming here, I was like really excited for myself, but really worried for my sister, because I knew I was eventually going to get out of this problem. And I didn't want to tell her in detail what was going to happen here, what I was going to go through, because I didn't want her to have an idea of, you know, she's doing better, I might be going down. Like I didn't want to condition her. 2 days ago, I had the healing session. Actually, I wasn't a healie, but I was I was in the healing group. That day, I think that hour was the most beautiful hour, the most magical hour of my life. I felt, because I always had a problem with surrendering, and I think eating disorders are also about kind of surrendering. Like you don't surrender, and it's an escape basically. And I always had problems surrendering through the therapies. And that day, because I was on the healing part, because you're giving to someone else, you surrender completely. You don't even think about surrendering. It just comes naturally because you give in a selfless way. And I felt so loving and so like whole. It was such a powerful hour for me that when I got out of there, I knew that I was completely healed while we were healing her actually. And that morning, actually, I had an attack. I was thinking, I just want to eat something so I can throw up. It's because it's kind of this thing where you eat so you can throw up, not vice versa, at least for me. And once I got out, the feeling was completely gone. And normally, if I have that feeling, it's never going to go away, like throughout the day, maybe the next day. So I decided to call my sister and ask her how she was feeling. And she goes, you know what, like, I don't know what happened. In the last 4 days, I haven't had any trouble with food. I haven't been thinking of anything. I don't know, what are you doing there? Like she was like completely, she was like, do you think like something might have changed? Like, I think something totally changed. I feel like I did, she said she went through herself through therapy and everything was gone, which was impossible. Like, it was because of the whole opposites from before. And I started thinking, because when I got really excited the day when Dr. Joe was talking about the atoms, the lab rat atoms that were separated, one of them was destroyed, the other one disappeared, and they were together on the quantum field. So I was thinking maybe the reason that things weren't working out with other therapies was because we were on the physical and the matter level, and we were sharing one sort of energy, and it was just like, it wasn't the base that was being solved. So because here we were able to do it on the energy level, I think that's the reason why everything kind of like, dissolved into a solution, really life-changing. Like it's really the most beautiful and the most effective work I've done, but also being here is the most unbelievable thing, because really you really, you know, when you go to like camps, yoga retreats, everyone's like super zen and super like friendly, super nice. But then once you get out, you know that it's not the real thing. Here you really feel the unity, the oneness, the wholeness, and everything is so sincere, and everyone is so sincere that you can't imagine a different life once you get out of here, and you can't imagine surrounding yourself with people that are not like all of these beautiful people that we were surrounded with. So yes, definitely the most beautiful thing, the best thing I've ever done for myself was this week.